What's up, everybody?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up? What's up?
What happened to our intro, man?
Well, we're doing something different today.
Oh,
Yeah, we doing.
okay.
See, we're. I think I'm gonna do like a little monologue and then go into the intro and then go into a little video review. I don't think you saw, and then
Okay.
after that we're gonna talk about the actual topic at hand. And if anybody wants to chime in on it, I'm gonna invite them in to talk about it or give their thoughts. Um, but first, the reason why we're here is there's a lot of shit been going on. YouTube streets, social media streets, everything.
YouTube streets, huh?
Yes,
Uh,
everybody's talking about relationships, black relationships. Everybody's trying to garner the woman's attention. Get their attention and get the women behind them to
uh, for their support.
yeah, for their
Okay.
support. Yeah, because that's a big market. I think it's because Derek Jackson has left a big gaping hole, when he did his transgressions, and now we got Dr. Umar Johnson. You know about the brother, Dr. Umar
I,
Johnson.
I just know
Okay,
about
that's him right
the
there.
yeah. I just know
Okay,
about. I hadn't seen him in a while, but I know
okay.
about the schools he was attempting to open up.
Attempting, but never. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That thing. Yeah, but now he's jumping on it, right? Because
yeah. Okay.
he was addressing a couple of male YouTube content creators, which they call the manosphere, in the
Hmm.
manosphere, red pill content or whatever. And he's riding the wave. He sees what's going on, so he's riding the wave. He's the anti manosphere. He's speaking for the queens and everything. So
Oh,
he,
okay.
he's
So he part of the problem, possibly.
so he's trying to fight it, and because of you know Kevin Samuels, AMS, mediocre tutorial reviews, roommates podcast, all them brothers that's doing big things over there on in YouTube.
Hmm.
He's kind of addressing them to try
Okay.
to get these women to go back to where it was, in that land to where they can't do no wrong, and they don't look at themselves for accountability.
Oh man, we can't do that. It's, that's what we already are.
Yeah, we've been there for a long
And
time,
that's what
and
this is the end result. You see
yeah,
what you see the results of that.
and he doesn't like address that men have wants and needs, and and what black men has been dealing with all this time. He doesn't have nothing to say about that. It's all about supposedly black women are being disrespected in this content
Mm.
that people are putting out. Um, hold on a
I
second.
was out on the golf course Sunday, and the guy I was playing with, he said the same thing, and I told him I don't I said I saw where the black man was skipped over, but you know I just didn't see how.
Okay, we good. We good. Go ahead.
Oh
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I wasn't seeing the disrespect from the to the black woman. I said if anything, she's been uplifted and put in front of the black man. If, when I do look at TV, that's in all the commercials, all the superheroes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, black women or women. I'm trying to figure out what are we doing here, but
Well, that's
I'm
part of
I'm
actually that's part of the monologue, right?
okay.
The state the the title or the question is who or what is responsible for the state of the black relationship.
Okay.
So anybody like or students of history will know that the black people in America has always been the test subjects for everything. So with that being said, if you look at every other race operates under a certain umbrella. They have a certain structure.
Oh
They
yeah,
they operate in a certain structure. The
well
only race that
they have an
doesn't,
order.
they have a certain order. Yes, the only race that doesn't is the black community.
Hmm.
And let's not get wrong. We can't talk about the the island. The blacks are from Jamaica. The blacks from Haiti or anybody else. We can't talk about them. They're not.
Well,
That's not it. Yeah,
Yeah,
go
because I don't think their culture dictates that does the same thing that we do
ahead.
here in America. So their culture is a little different. So,
Mm-hmm.
I, I'm, yeah, I don't think they're a part of that conversation.
So what I'm speaking about is specifically Black African Americans. Uh, we're descendants of slavery. The blacks, they're black people are descendants of slavery. Um, we have because we have nothing to hold on to from our past. We're not grounded in anything, so we have become.
Pliable.
Yeah, there you go. Very good word. We're pliable to whatever comes along, right? And whereas during feminism happened, because we're more pliable, I think our women became changed in that aspect, and then what we are operating under is a matriarchy.
Hmm.
It's a matriarchy. If you
In
look at,
large portion.
yeah,
In large
for our
portion.
majority of our community, it's matriarchy.
Yeah.
If you look at who's responsible for the kids, and we can argue later on about who's responsible for that, but for most part, it's the woman that's making all the decisions.
Hmm.
Is the woman, like you said, put up on a pedestal, put up on a certain uh
Can do no wrong.
yeah, and there you go, can do no wrong. So
Can do no wrong.
that is part of the matriarchy, and I think that society, the powers that be, like it that way because if you look at the spending power, right,
Oh,
that we have, it's controlled by women because it's a matriarchy.
I can agree with that. Yeah, a large percentage of the spending power in the black community is well, women are just natural spenders
Yeah.
anyway,
Mhm.
regardless of what ethnicity or anything like that. But
They're more consumers.
yeah,
So because of that, I think they profit heavily and they want to keep us at war with each other. Um, I've looked at a bunch of content, right? Yeah, like hours of content. Like I mentioned, the brother MTR Media Tutorial Reviews. He did a 3 hour live 2 nights ago, I think it was, and he had some sisters come on, and can't remember what the disagreement they were having, but he was basically talking about the same thing within the same realm of modern women, which, like I said, I'm being more specific because when you say modern women, you're talking about all women. And I think the issue really isn't all women. It's really not because you have women that might subscribe to what they see in media that understands that black women operate a matriarchy and they want to do that. So yes, they subscribe to that. And they're gonna be behind that type of situation because they feel empowered. Which
right.
I'm not saying women shouldn't be empowered to do what they're supposed to do, right? But when you are empowered to a point where you put a man up under you, you put another group up under you, and you you want to control that other group, you're going to get outcomes, and the outcomes you're getting right now you don't even like. The outcomes are that you're being more masculine, so you're going to draw
Feminine.
feminine men. That's what you're going to draw, and then on the back end you're going to complain about it because a masculine man does not want a masculine woman. He's not going to be drawn to that. He's not going to want to argue with his woman.
No.
He's not going to want to be
Right.
combative, come home and have to,
Right.
be
He
compatible
got to
with his woman.
fight the world and then
Yeah,
come home
and
and
fight your
argue
woman.
with his wife.
Yeah.
That who the hell wants that?
So, because of this, because of, like I said, how we got here, we're gonna discuss this later about how we got here. But this is me talking about um, the fact that we have an issue. The state of black relationships is in danger.
Oh,
You know,
I think it's beyond
it,
danger.
it, it's been in danger for a while, but because of social media, we see everything. You know, uh, time, right there, real time. We
Hmm.
see it real time, and then we get to hear other people. Get to hear the responses. We get to hear,
That's my favorite
yeah,
part.
what they
Is
think,
right.
how they think. We get to see that,
That's my favorite part is reading comments on YouTube. But
and it's scary. It's real. It's
it's
real
interesting.
scary.
I have to remind
Mm.
myself that this is just a small segment of the population, though, and I want to believe that this is
No,
not.
no, you want to believe?
I want to
Yeah,
believe that
okay.
this is not the majority mindset of individuals, period, whether they're black or white or whatever. But
And the reason why, okay, so this is why I say, I believe that it's the majority is because when you have women across different socioeconomical backgrounds, different, ethnicities, you different, and we're gonna pull it back to black, American women as products of slavery. We're gonna pull it back to that. But I'm just saying when you have different women across different, ethnicities and everything else, saying the same exact thing. Like, it's because of media's pushing a certain
Oh
thing
yeah,
and people are buying into it because once again, it makes them feel
it's
powerful.
empowering.
It makes them
Yeah,
feel more powerful. And somebody has to be the underclass. Somebody has to be, and in order for them to feel even more powerful,
got to be on
they're
top
gonna
of
they're
somebody.
gonna shit on somebody.
Gotta,
And unfortunately, you're shitting on the people that you say you want to lead you, right? You shitting on the people. Just like I said, I'm always on social media debating different stuff. And woman was like, well, he got to be a handle me. No, no, a man's not supposed to
why?
have to handle a woman. You handle animals.
Well, you handle
You
animals,
handle animals.
but then who gets to say what's the threshold? Oh, he handled me a little too hard now.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
know,
now you in jail.
yeah, that, right. That's
Shit the
I've,
shit out of.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Oh, he can't handle me, or uh, you know, he not man enough.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing something, manly
Yeah.
to
Yeah, and
create
that's
a
what it that's
situation
what
like?
that's what's like.
Hey, just
He got to outman me. You ain't got balls, lady.
hey man, it's wow.
But I mean, this is and when we start talking about this stuff, right? What ends up happening is that women want to point to the fact that men are not in the household,
Mhm.
but this didn't just happen this generation.
No,
And that's the thing. We keep on looking at the here and now. Men are not in the household. Men are this. Men are that. This didn't just happen this generation. This happened,
about 2 or 3 generations
yeah,
ago.
almost 3 generations ago, right? And then just like everything else, shit rolls downhill, and you got a snowball effect. So what we have is when you have 2 generations of something going on, it becomes a generational curse.
Yeah,
And the only way to beat that is to change something and to be mindful of why that curse is happening.
a drastic change.
Yeah,
We have
yeah,
to agree that this is the
yeah.
reason that this is taking place too.
And that's why people having talks, and that's why I want to have this talk because we
Okay.
have to address what you believe. We have to have a debate about it. We have to talk about this. Um, let's put your thoughts and your beliefs to test and see what we can come up with. You know, um, you might find out some things you think is right on the money, and some things we might think and say might be wrong.
Mm.
But at least if we go discuss it, in an adult manner, we can, we come up with some kind of idea of maybe what direction we need to go from now. From
Yeah,
now
but
on.
I think for that to be possible, though, we have to have a an agreement on a starting point. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Mm,
okay, this
mm,
is going to be this way. This is going to be that.
yeah.
Whatever that may be,
Mm,
because I think so many people have different philosophies that and then you try to bring those two together, it just doesn't work
mm.
if you can't agree on somewhere. This is where we got to start
Yeah, the common ground.
on
Mm,
on common ground,
yeah.
right?
No, no, and I agree with that. I mean, and hopefully in talking to people, if anybody wants to come on and talk, hopefully in talking to people, we can come up with some point where we have a common ground and we could build from that to where we gain understanding.
Mm.
Right? This is not about black women against black men.
No,
Or black men trying to keep black women in a certain position. Y'all can't be kept in a certain
and
position.
I have to say that all the time. This is not a competition.
Mm-mm.
We are supposed to be working towards a common goal.
Yeah,
It's not a we're not competing against one another. We're supposed to be coming together as one another. Procreating,
yeah,
making more babies.
yeah. Um, I mean, we have to start understanding each other because if we don't, we will never. I mean, as generations go on, we're just gonna fall further and further behind. We're already behind.
Hmm.
So if you don't want your kids, your grandkids, and your other legacies not to be further behind than everybody else, we're gonna have to do this for the children. We're not gonna, damn
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. It ain't gonna happen for us.
No, because we're where we at. We're not gonna change anything. We're fighting each other for the future. nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change in our lifetime. But hold on, we got a question. Yeah, nothing's going to change in our lifetime. But if we do make a significant change right now, maybe 2 generations from now, things will be better, right? We will turn stuff around. We got a comment from question from Twitch. Do you think people should be going back to church more? Encourage people to follow traditional conservative values, i.e., nuclear family. No, I believe we should push the nuclear family thing. I believe because we've gotten away from that. And once again, we're operating a matriarchy. But when you do nuclear family, we have to agree on with each other that the male. Since you talk about church, I believe you believe in church, believe in the Bible and everything
Some
else.
higher power.
So based under the Bible and religion, the male is supposed to be head of household. So if you want to have a nuclear family, like it used to be, we have to agree that male's supposed to be the head of household, and we have to do things to train our men up to be the head of household, whether it be elder men, mentoring these guys, or be the mothers relinquishing certain
That
things to,
stronghold,
yeah,
man.
that stronghold to male figures, male role models, or just a man that she chooses to have in her life. I mean, if she has to pick the right man, first of all, and that is solely on her, right? But she has to relinquish kind of that power to be like, okay, this is a boy.
Allow him to lead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need you to take an active role and raise him up to be whatever. I chose you because you're the man, the ideal man I would love my son to be, right? And you have to just say, okay, cool,
Yeah, hands off. Yeah,
hands
you got to
off,
step back.
hands off. You have to step back. If the dad is not involved in life, if dad's involved in life, then that's going to be a whole different situation where him, the current the current boyfriend or whoever he is, stepdad, husband, whatever he is, have to work together as a unit. And then, we could raise up the next generation of boys in that manner.
Yeah. And if I was in that situation, I would be encouraged by a stepfather actually
Mm.
trying to help raise,
Yeah, yeah,
my
because he
son.
don't have to do that.
He don't
Yeah.
definitely don't have to do
Uh,
that.
and
That's a
I think,
lose proposition.
yeah,
Being a
and I
step
think
parent.
like as males, I think we would be more able to work together under that guise. I mean, if I'm not there, I mean, as long as it ain't no drama shit.
Right.
But if we agree that the children are the most important thing in this situation, them growing up healthy and becoming a good member of society and a father and a strong black male. We always talk about, women always talk about they want a strong black man, but what are you raising?
And not just that, but I think everybody's definition, we got a skewed definition of what a strong black man
Hmm.
is, or what a strong man
Hmm.
is. A lot of people's idea is somebody who's going around pushing their weight around,
Hmm.
uh, showing dominance, I guess,
Hmm.
in something. Well, but that doesn't necessarily make you. A lot of people do that out of fear.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
That's their
That's
motivation.
the facade.
Yeah, that's right. That's a cover up.
Hmm.
Uh, but when you talk about strong, you want somebody who's emotionally strong
Hmm.
as well as physically strong, but
Hmm.
mentally strong, who's going to think you through processes, who's going to be able to withstand the stresses of the world. We talked about that earlier before the
Hmm.
show started.
Yeah,
You know, Men are made to combat stress.
yeah.
Women are not.
Hmm.
That's not that's not a good look for women. That it ages them, and like I said, they end up
Facial hair
in
and yeah,
facial
yeah,
hair,
yeah.
also
More
manly
testosterone. Hmm.
qualities.
Yeah,
You don't want all that.
yeah. So I mean, we have to agree. I mean, we have to look at the facts. We have to look at what's going on right now. We have to look at where do you want to go? Like we have to have that end goal. Where do you want to go? Where do you want our kids and our kids to end up at? And we have to work back from there to see how we get. We got to
Yeah.
reverse engineer this situation to see where we're going to get, how we're going to get to that point. Um, okay, would you say the roles have been reversed? Looks like the men are acting like women, the women are acting like men, and if you're old fashioned, people hate on you for encouraging gender roles, like it's a bad thing for strong, independent women. That you encourage toxic masculinity, it seems like the feminism is going. Oh,
Okay, let me answer
go ahead,
this
go ahead.
one.
Yeah, you go
Yeah,
ahead and I'll follow.
the roles have definitely been reversed, and that's partially because of society. Telling people, "Oh, you can do anything." Well, pretty much just telling women you can do anything a man can do, and then secondly, I'm not sure if you're black or not, but in the black community, men were kind of removed from the household to where women were forced into these roles of leadership, of raising a family. So it kind of it's twofold now because we talked about those two previous generations where women
Mhm.
were, the matriarchy. They were
Mhm.
running the show, and then now society is also pushing women. Oh, you can do whatever a man can do. And I don't know why that should be the measuring stick for a woman is to be able to compete with a man, but that's what society puts out there now.
Well,
But definitely the
no, it's
roles
the
have been
reason because
reversed.
they would need something out the women, you know.
Well, yeah, but yeah, the roles have been reversed, and like I said, I don't, I see the toxic masculinity thing. I don't think it's a such thing as that, but I know exactly what you're talking about. But definitely the roles have been reversed in
Well,
today's
anything
society.
toxic, and this is the thing. This these terms were put in
Right.
place to get men to act a certain way.
Right, to get you to fall back,
Yeah.
to get you to cower,
Hmm.
so they put adjectives on different
Mm.
words. Masculine is masculine.
Mm.
A person is toxic regardless
Yeah,
of their
the person
gender.
is toxic, not masculine.
Yeah,
It
masculinity has
masculinity.
nothing
No.
to do with
Yeah.
that. But absolutely.
To answer your thing about feminism, right? And I talked about this, and I have women that I talk to on the almost on the regular, and we throw these ideas around, and we talk about feminism, and I push that the initial feminism, the initial feminist movement was it was great. It was a good thing because women needed to have they need to be able to do the same things men do, right? They need to be equal because had it not been that way, right now women would be messed up because there are not enough men to to have husbands for these women to to cover these houses and everything. So if they wasn't for feminism, women would be screwed up right now, right? The women and the kids would be
Are you
screwed up.
saying that because they would not be able to have a household where they can provide for?
What it can provide, yeah.
Okay.
So and that was the first wave feminism. So the first wave feminism was a great thing, right? Now we into this third, fourth wave feminism where it's more about uplifting women and belittling men. And like I said, that's toxic masculinity,
Yeah.
all these other things, these terms.
Not just that, but also being in a civilized world that men have created.
Yeah,
And now you can take advantage of these technologies and then claim that you don't need
that you don't need man. Yeah,
a man. So it's
based on what men have already done,
right.
based on the sweat off of men backs and like he said, I don't know if you're black or not, but to be honest, black men have built this country for free, for free. And I'm not saying black women haven't did anything, but they weren't the labor force to build in this country. They were out there picking cotton, yes, if they were certain hue, they were out there picking cotton, but they weren't building the infrastructures. They weren't responsible for a lot of the heavy lifting and stuff. And now it's like, why do we need a man?
Yeah.
You know,
And it's easy to say that when
yeah,
you can pick up the phone.
yeah,
Guess who you're gonna call to do
to
this
get a
hard
man,
job? You're gonna
yeah,
call a man. If you somebody breaking into your house and you call the police, if a woman show up, I guarantee you a female would be disappointed by that. If that's who's coming to
mm,
quote unquote protect her from
mm,
whoever this intruder is breaking into her house. Same thing if your house on fire and a female firefighter shows up.
a-
You're gonna be like, what's going on? Although there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
and I missed one thing in that. No, I don't think it's a bad thing for strong to be a strong independent woman. I don't think that's a bad thing. What I think is a bad thing is the fact that she doesn't know how to switch that off.
See,
That's the bad thing to me.
I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing, but I think it's misguided
No,
a lot of times. It's nothing wrong with being.
no, not for us. It's bad. It's bad for her
Oh, okay,
because it's
yeah,
counterproductive.
yeah. It's
It's bad for her.
right. It's you said it exactly. It's
Yeah, it's
counterproductive.
counterproductive.
It's not gonna put her in a good space in life. Being a strong, independent woman, and although a lot of them claim that's they don't need no man, so I guess it will. How the hell? I don't know. But what kind of you gonna run this
Yeah,
video
yeah. I'm
or
gonna go. I'm gonna go to the what you call them. I'm gonna go to the intro. I'm going to get this video ready, and then we're going to open up for discussion. If anybody wants to come on the show live and discuss or have any disagreements, anything, they can come on and talk about it. All right. See you back in a second. Okay. About to share the screen so y'all can see what's going on. There we go.
Started at a critical point. It was like he was
Yeah,
saying
he's going in, and yeah.
like he was saying something heavy.
Yeah, so we gonna go.
Now, let me say this because I've been getting questions about these black male life coaches, these uncredentialed, uncertified, untrained, YouTubian black male life coaches. I'm not here to knock nobody. I don't know how anybody feeds their children. I don't know how they keep a roof over their head. I don't know how they keep food in their body. I'm not here to knock anybody's hustle. I'm not here to knock anybody's hustle because I don't know.
Stop it there.
Plug the school on.
Yeah. If you notice, you see the cat. You see, look at
The cash out.
the Cash App, whatever, right? So so the thing is, when did it become bad to seek male validation?
That's kind of how it works, right? That's biology. If
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
mistaken, that's
Don't males seek female validation?
absolutely.
So see, and this is the thing that we do in media, and people that want to get women to back them, they use words like that. I mean, they try to attack, something that's not bad. It's not even bad.
No, he's portraying it as bad, but I guess what is it? What is his end result? What does he want these women to do instead of seeking male validation to be strong, independent black women? Is that what his goal is?
Well, to be the heads. I mean, once again,
That's
to
what
be
he
the
wants.
matriarch. I mean, he's speaking to them. Like, you're not going to accept whatever. I mean, so the thing is, and I feel this way, right? I mean, you have a black wife, right?
Yeah,
You have a black wife. She's black.
yeah.
You know, I have two sons. Both of their mothers are black. Um, and the thing is, who can speak about somebody else? You could. Well, let me put it this way: you're going to speak about somebody that you love, right? If they're not doing something that looks like it's being productive or anything else, can you speak about it out of love
Absolutely.
without it being attacked?
That's your motivation for it to not be attacked. But so often correction is
Mm,
mistaken as an
an
attack,
attack. Mm,
and it's not that. It's to try to let me nudge you back over
mm.
to this way.
Like, this was put on the forefront back in 89, 90 with sister Ali, Shahrazad Ali, when she wrote the book, and she was talking about how black women were acting a certain way. It was reiterated years later with what's it, Yamla Van Zant?
Yeah.
Yamla Van Zant, 2013, almost the same message. And then she came back this year and she doubled down on it and said it's still the same thing. So the thing is, it's not black men telling you this now. It's also black women saying this to you. So ladies, if which he doesn't say anything about that. It's just, it's funny that, you want to attack men to try to pit men against women.
It's almost like some dirty macking going on, but
That's what it's called. Exactly. Great term. Dirty macking. That's what it's called.
I'm just trying to figure out what is his goal? What is he trying to get?
Cash at me.
Oh,
FDMG school.
there's it's right there in my face. See, I gotta be more.
Cash at me.
He's looking for some payments.
Cash at me.
So you inspire them, then they send you money.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
Derek Jackson. Oh, he's back on the scene. He done made a video.
Oh
He
yeah.
came back and he's trying to say, hey, y'all come buy my book to see how me and my wife are gonna work through this issue.
Hey,
Basically. So,
only in America, baby.
women, you're powerful for a reason, ladies. And you're powerful. The reason why everybody's is talking to you and trying to cater and doing everything else is because you have the spending power.
You hold the purse strings.
You hold of you and the children, not just you, but the children. Majority of women have their kids. So if I can control the head of this household, which is majority of them are women, the kids going to come along also, and I can, sell to the kids, or I can, lead them in a way that I can eat off of them for another generation or two.
And as simplistic as that sounds, or as devious as it sounds, that it comes down to money. That's the reality of America. And
Capitalism.
capitalism
Yeah.
is a real thing. I'm not even mad at capitalism, but everything is whenever you want to know the answer to something, you follow the money. So it sounds, crazy, but no, it's always about the money. This gentleman, Dr. Umar, shows on his Cash App me and
Mhm.
PayPal me. So that's the Frederick Douglass and
Further,
Marcus
yeah,
Garvey
Marcus
School.
Garvey School.
All
Mhm.
right.
But, let's get back into it. Thank you for that because I didn't know the sound wasn't working on that. Appreciate that. Damn.
Sound. Go ahead. Hey,
See, I'm always prepared for
hey,
something.
he's,
I'm
he's
always
the
prepared.
technician over here.
Always prepared.
He's the studio producer as well, so he gonna
Always
take
prepared.
care of this.
1 second. So I'm gonna get y'all back.
But in general, he was talking about opening his school and then having events for women, so he could speak positivity into their lives and things like that. He'll get. I'm assuming he's gonna get this video back on here shortly.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna just do the sound in. I'm gonna patch the sound in.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, you could talk. Go ahead, talk.
Yeah, but
Give your thoughts on it.
I don't have any thoughts really because I believe everybody is allowed their lane, but I guess it's interesting. Y- I want to know what his like I said what his end goal is, and then I think you pointed out it's for the cash apps and the PayPal's or whatever, so he can continue to finance his school, which is nothing wrong with that. It looks like a pretty big school too, so that I'm sure it's quite a financial burden to take on. So there's nothing wrong with trying to get that finance because it's hard work trying to finance it yourself. But outside of that, is that his only come up is for financial gains, or is does he really?
Well, he's been doing that school for about 10 years.
Well, yeah, that's what I know him from. How long he been working with the school? Is that playing to the audience? Oh, okay. I just heard. I wasn't sure if it was playing through. And that's what I know of him. It's the school, and certain people have made statements about it. So, and I think that's a noble effort. If that's truly where your heart is. But I'm like I said, I'm just trying to get some clarity on his message as far. Okay, I'm just getting clarity on this message as far as
Yeah, sorry, y'all. Yeah, it's not gonna play. The video's not gonna play. But anyway, he was speaking to the sisters and talking about how disappointed he is of them listening to these beta male life coaches,
life coach.
beta male life coaches, and
All these keywords.
yeah, the whole thing is that we've been hearing the same thing for years, the same exact thing, same the same rhetoric. Everything been basically. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Since the '80s, we've been hearing the same thing. About what's supposed to happen in Black America
Mm-hmm. In the
in Black
'70s, since
families.
the '70s, I'm gonna say.
Well, yeah, the '70s. Let's go back to '70s then. Black America, Black family, and everything else. What we haven't heard is how we're going to save our families because it's been going. I mean, the family structure has been going down
It's
since the
getting it's
'70s.
getting worse. Absolutely, yeah.
You know,
Childbirth outside of wedlock is what 80% in the black
hmm
community, something
yeah,
like that.
something like that, 80%.
So you're talking about what is it? One out of every five. I mean, 4 out of every 5 kids born out of wedlock.
Yeah,
Not to say it can't, they can't be successful or be structured in life, but that's I don't care what anybody say. Parenting is one of the hardest jobs you ever have, and to try to go at it alone or with a single adult in the household is extremely difficult.
but also statistics show us that it's better with a two-parent household.
Yeah, I mean that's to me that's just pretty logical. More adult supervision in a
Yeah.
household full of kids, so that just makes sense.
Just like back in the day, it was better when you had the family, the village that were looking after the kids. The more people to look at for your children, the better off you are.
Right? You knew if you were gonna get disciplined by the neighbor up the road and the neighbor across the street, then I ain't gonna say you didn't do anything, but you went further away from your neighborhood to do shit,
Yeah, to do
and
dirt.
then depending on where you were, strangers set you straight too. That's when we could we could look at adults and trust that they had our kids' best
Mhm.
interests at heart, and somewhere along the line, adults start to take advantage of that
Mhm.
situation and
Yeah,
and using that as a control factor and to victimize children. And I'm not saying it happened on a super large scale, but it happened enough to where it got people's attention, and they no longer wanted anybody else to say anything to their kids. Nobody else could correct their children, which I wish it wouldn't be like that, because the more eyes you have on the situation, the better outcome you can have. And everybody doesn't agree with the same discipline methods, but just minor correction, just
At
pointing
least
out to 'em,
addressing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
pointing out to,
Yeah.
hey, you shouldn't be standing
Yeah.
in the chair at McDonald's, or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be.
Yeah. At least able to address it, and then you can talk to the mother. If the mother come along, be like, "Hey, your child was doing that,"
Right.
and not have to
Not have to
fight
fight
the
her.
mother. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Oh yeah, my child was wrong. You did that. And then the mother address it in a certain manner.
absolutely,
But that's what needs to happen. That's that black community we used to have, but now
Right.
it's not there anymore. Do you think poverty and lack of good education plays a vital role in killing off the family unit? Could drugs be a main cause of all this? All that plays a part. All of it. Everything you mentioned plays a part. Poverty. I'm going to say lack of good education. Not so much so, because we have a lot of educated sisters now. We got a lot of educated sisters now, but we still have the same outcomes when it comes to kids turning out how they turn in the community and single parent households.
And far as I'm concerned, the poverty and education, all that stuff, I mean, I'm sure it has some impact on it, but let's be honest, we came from, a lot of us, or a lot of our family came from poverty,
True.
low education, things like that, and we still had a structure there. So it was, I look back to integration when we wanted to aspire to be something outside of what was already going on in our community. Not necessarily strive to be it, but we thought it was something
more
different.
like it. Yeah,
We thought it was something different.
it's better.
And I point at integration. That could have been it or not. But we never were the richest people, but we had all those things. We had that family structure, and somewhere along the line, when the house, it wasn't any of that stuff that initially split the household.
No.
Now once the household was split, all those things came into play, and then they reared their head after the fact. Those are symptoms of the problem that came before it, to me.
Yeah.
The poverty, the lack of education.
It was the divide and conquer method, because we all know back in the 60s, we had the Black Panthers, the Black Power, movement. We were all brothers and sisters each other. We respected each other. When they started killing off our black leaders, which was black males, majority of them, and going after people that were prominent in the community, that left a gaping hole in that structure system, because we had somebody we looked up to, Dr. King. We looked up to Dr. King. If you're Muslim, you looked up to Malcolm X. If you were just a militant, you looked up to the Black Panther Party. Yeah. When they killed that foundation, or that thing, that idea of this is what we want to subscribe to be like, then what ends up moving in is the people that were of lower character.
Yeah, and then jumping there just a quick second, when they killed those black leaders, and it also came at a time when black men were being separated from their families.
Yeah.
So the national scale leadership had been removed, and also the leadership inside the home was being removed at the same time. So it was like a perfect storm almost, and it all came at a lot of people think it was planned that way. I'm not going to speak on that, because
I believe it's planned.
I had researched it enough to say, but many individuals think it was done intentionally.
If you look at the timeline, if you look at the timeline, how it was done with the idea in mind, because I can't remember president. It wasn't Hoover, I don't think.
You talking about Johnson?
Johnson. Was it Johnson?
Lyndon
B. Johnson. Was it Johnson?
I want to say it was Johnson.
Okay, whoever it was, he
Let's see what you're gonna say.
It was war on basically the black community, the black power, the people that were in power in the black community.
Okay,
it was open war on them.
Yeah.
So that was planned. The fact that the power of a black community was the family structure. They knew that. The power from the family came from the structure. The black man would not be anything without his family. They knew that. This is from slavery, right? That's how the white always take the males out of away from the wife or the woman and the kid and bring them off down the road to another plantation and let him do whatever he do and take because he would fight tooth and nail to protect his family. You can't control somebody like that. You can't control him.
No.
So you have to get him out there to where he has no roots. He has no roots. He has no power. So they knew. I mean, they study sociology. They study, all these other sciences to understand people, to understand the human nature.
Yeah.
So yes, it certain things were planned. Now I think certain things, like I mentioned last week, right? The Moynihan report, right? The guy already called it out that because of the fact that if we gave welfare to women, they would pick the welfare over their men. That was stated. This was 65. He did that in 65. So based on that in 65, that's before King died. That's before anybody, any of these people died. So think about it. After 65, then we have feminism at the same time. They were pushing feminism to black women to try to get them from the Black Panther Party, which was, if you didn't know, black women were very active in the Black Panther Party. They were the backbone of the Black Panther Party.
And they were willing to be submissive in that role. When I say that, they didn't have to be in the role of leadership. They were willing to support those guys in whatever they were trying to do as far as bettering the community or whatever their focus was. Let me see.
I'm gonna answer this answer this question in a second, but so if you look at the timeline, it's all there. If you start looking at history and look at the timeline, the Moynihan report, which I just found out about, which makes perfect sense because that's 65. That was the precursor to everything. If they're gonna kick the man out the household, they're gonna choose the money over the man. So okay, we got that. So we got the women divided from the men. So also we got once again the feminist movement, which Angela Davis said also. I mean, I'm pointing at sisters that said this, that was there during the time. Her and Gloria, whatever that woman's name is, said it did nothing for the black community. Like the feminist movement was not for the black woman. It was for the white woman that was trying to get up from underneath her white men because she wanted to be equal to white men. Black woman was never under our authority. If you had a husband, yes, of course, if you had a husband. But as a whole, black women were not up under us. We were under everybody else, right? We were together. What I'm saying, we're together in this struggle against the white man. So they got the black woman that was very powerful speakers, right? They were like I said, the backbone of the Black Panther Party. They moved them over to they brought them over to the feminist movement. Movie to watch. You don't believe me? It's called Glorious. It's about the Gloria I was talking about. I can't Estefan. I think her name was Gloria Estefan.
Gloria, the musician.
No. Yeah, that might be the thing about the musician. Whatever. Don't quote me on that. It's Glorious. That's the name of it. It's Glorious. It was 2020, I think, is when the movie came out, and it was talking about the feminist movement, and it showed how they went and looked for women that were speaking with the Black Panther Party, whatever.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, Angela Davis said that was a white feminist movement, and it had nothing to do with the black woman. But we're here now, and right now I'm not blaming women. I'm pointing a finger at this timeline, right? Then we got 68. King died in 68.
68 or 69. I can't.
68, 69, 1 and 2. We got 68, 69. One of them died. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X died. Like that is in order. Right. And then we had the Black Panther Party, who was destroyed around that time also. So at that point, then they start putting heroin in the community. They started giving heroin to
into the 70s.
Yeah, they start putting heroin in the community. So we don't have no more leadership to say, no, this is bad. We don't want this in the community, right? We're going to give the criminal element. We're going to give they're going to get the criminal element, the ability to make money and for people to look up to that criminal element. Okay, so the question, it's also black men themselves think it's also black men themselves cocking everything up by participating in gangs and gang culture, drugs, being arrested, which in turn affects the children. They go on and repeat their mistakes. Okay, if you look up the history or the background of gangs, it didn't start as that. It started as a community based type situation where they were trying to police their own communities. And like I said, when the drugs got involved, that's when it became what we know today.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is a lot of these are. I always say in America we like to look at the symptoms and not the
Mhm.
problem. These are symptoms of the problem of the missing leadership,
Yeah, missing
male,
leadership.
because when you have a man in the home, not to say you won't turn to a gang, but I think most people who look for gang, I don't know, I never been a part of a gang, but I think they're looking for like a family structure, or they're looking for somebody to look up to, somebody who can mentor, whether it be good leadership or bad. It's somebody who can show them a way out of
Mhm.
wherever they are at that point. I'm now speaking strictly anecdotal. I
Mhm.
have no idea because I've never been, I never fantasized about gangs or
Mhm.
anything. But you know, I think that's a symptom more so than the actual problem. That's just what happens when you don't have that structure in place
Mhm.
in the household,
Mhm.
and all that other stuff leads up to it. Drugs. I mean, but let's just be honest. Everybody does drugs.
What's up, Ashley? Yeah, nowadays, yeah, everybody.
But you know,
so,
yeah, yeah,
so,
those are symptoms.
so, Dr. Toy, hey, Dr. Toy, by the way, hey, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Did black women kick their men out of the house, or did they choose not to get married, and then lied on the welfare papers while their men remained in homes? That was something they did, Dr. Toy. But I'm gonna tell you what the issue is with this, right? It undermined the family structure. So if you give somebody, and I'll take it away from women because I want to say women, but I'm gonna take it away from women, right? If you give a child, not that a woman's child, but if you give a child the ability to have money, and you as a parent don't have money, what you think would happen to that child or that family structure?
He calling women children, y'all. But okay.
Yeah, no, don't DM me. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, in the family structure, in the Bible, and every place else,
They're not gonna listen. You
the man is the head, usually the head. In other cultures, the man is usually the head, the woman is right up underneath him, and then the child comes after that. So when you undermine that structure, she's going to start trying to call shots. So the kicking out didn't come simultaneously. Some of it might have. Some of them say, okay, he ain't worth shit anyway. Hey, you got to go. Some of them did that. But after a certain period of time, black men can't get no work because at the same time, they weren't hiring us like that. We were struggling. Hey, go back to Good Times. Let's look at Good Times. That was based off in the 70s, wasn't it?
Right.
Wasn't it based in the
Yeah,
70s? It was okay.
Good
Yeah, it
times
was
was
based
the
in the 70s.
70s. Only thing about that, I make this.
Mm.
You look at good times, but they sound like they living today. I mean, they're saying they talking about the same, which lets you know we haven't done
Nothing. We have
much
done nothing.
since then.
No, nothing.
It's all the same problems since then. But I think that was a twofold. What is it, Dr. Latoya?
Yeah, Dr. Sawyer. Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. I think some men were kicked out, and
Yeah.
then others chose to game the system. And it's interesting what people are willing to do to get something for or what they believe for nothing. We will put our lives on hold pretty much to get a small
Yeah.
subsidy just to say, okay, I got something. I don't have
Well,
to do
well,
much
well.
for it.
But the thing is, think about this: when your kid's hungry, hey,
Oh yeah,
it don't matter.
yeah,
It don't matter.
but
What I say about kids are pimps, right? No, I'm dead ass serious, right? Kids are pimps. When you have a mother that don't have the ability to feed her child, she will sell her ass to feed her kids.
yeah, but that I think that goes more so back to a mother's love for her
No,
children,
no,
the
it is the
nurture.
love, but I'm just
I'm
saying.
not gonna get that. I'm not gonna get the kids all that kind of
What I'm saying is
power.
that you're not going to tell your child no. You're not
A
going to look
mother,
at your
a
child.
mother is not gonna
You're
tell a
not going to look at
child.
your child and you're going
No,
to say, well, you hungry, but guess what?
no,
Mom ain't going out here and
we don't.
walk this stroll.
We don't have no money,
Yeah,
right?
we don't have. She's not going to do that. She's going to do whatever she has to do to make sure a child is being fed and make sure a child's
Absolutely.
okay.
And
Which is not a bad thing, but I'm just saying that's what it is.
and if people used it, and I'm saying it, I'm talking about government assistance
Mm,
or whatever the case may be, as a stepping
mm,
stone to move forward. It should not be generations of family
mm,
continue to use this process lifelong.
mm.
Even if everybody in your family use it, if they use it for 2 years, that's one thing. But when you own it, your mom's still on it, your daughter getting on it. That's I think that's really what the problem comes in. It's just generational. It never left. I
Yeah,
agree that it.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, Ashley. Y'all go support Ashley's. She has a podcast, Black Girl Interrupted. Um, Hey Ashley, put your stuff down in the comments because I don't know when you on. You be on every other day now. I don't know anymore. You was I knew what time you was on, but now you on all the time. And just put your information down there. You know what it is. But yeah, go follow Ashley. Black Girl Interrupted. She has great shows and podcasts and talking about mental health and about healing and everything.
Dr. Latoya, I see where you say you agree that
Okay, there you go.
it emasculated the black male, but it also kind of gave him a, a get out of jail, not get out of jail free card, but it took the onus off of him as well because now
Well, we're talking about years later. We're still in the 70s though. In the 70s, I don't think it did that in the 70s.
well, what I'm saying is I think it did as far as you have created this pseudo family and then now you can't even be a part of it, and the human mind is can learn to deal with any situation. So after
Yeah,
a while,
true,
you
true.
kind of just it's common. Oh, I know I have a wife or I have
Yeah.
a child over here, but because things happen if I show up, and it becomes second nature.
Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, yeah. Because now the burden. No, now because of this, right? I'm the thing that's going to bring this family down if I'm around.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of men turned to drugs and alcohol because they couldn't do with their family. It felt less than a man. So yes, it emasculated them, and they turned to anything to ease their pain. Um,
Uh, uh, I I want to answer
yeah,
this
yeah.
guy.
I'm gonna put it up now.
Okay, and it,
That's Black Girl Interrupted. That's Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Look for it on YouTube. Black Girl Interrupted. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay.
and he writes, do you think non-black people like Hispanics, whites, Asians, etc., suffer just the same as the black people in regards to the family unit being eliminated?
No,
They do, but nowhere
no,
near at
no.
the ratio that the black family is. You have those same situations in all races, but our percentages are off the charts when you compare it to any other race of people. Is what I noticed.
Well, what I'm taking this is saying, right? Do you think non-black people like Hispanics, whites, etc., they're not targeted, right? That's why I say it's not the same. They're not targeted. You don't see white people being targeted for certain things. You don't see Hispanics being targeted, Asians. All these people have that's been wrong historically in America have saw some kind of let's not even talk about reparations. Saw some kind of reprieve. They saw, if white people had an issue, poor white people, they were given land back in the day, right? When farmers had issues, they were given land, they were given subsidies and everything else. Hispanics, when they were wrong, they had stuff going on with them too. They looked out for them. Native Americans, they got a shit deal, but they were at least offered something. It's a shit deal, but at least it was a token of us screwing you over. Asians, hey, they just signed a Asian anti-hate bill, right? Asian anti-hate bill based on a couple of
Based on a
situations.
fake story.
No,
I'm not a fake
no,
story.
no,
I
it
don't
was
want to
fake. It
say
wasn't
that.
fake. No, it was fake.
I say fake because the way the narrative that they put out there about that story is completely false. As far as the guy who shot up the different massage parlors and everything.
Yeah.
That's why I call it fake.
Oh, you talking about the
it's
reason
real.
why they said it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's real.
but it
People
was
died.
it was about Asian hate though. But the thing is that when you talk about 5 or 6 situations, like he did something in one day. I think it was 8 people died or 9 people died in that one
Something
day.
like that,
One
yeah.
day. So I'm just saying that's one situation.
Mhm.
But we had like only 5 or 6 situations, and they did a bill, right? How many countless thousands and in hundreds of thousands of black people or even Native Americans have died during this country, during the inception of this country, during the path to where we are today. And there's no anti-black hate bill. There's none. So, it constantly proves to me what black people mean in this country
Mm,
to America. I mean, it's always in your face.
yeah, but just to go off on a slight
Yeah,
tangent,
go ahead, because
because
I got off. So go ahead.
we
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
because it's still on the
yeah,
Asian hate
yeah.
thing. That that whole thing was manufactured. Of course, Asian people get attacked or whatever. Is it because they're Asian? Who knows?
No, no. You know where it came from? No, it came from coronavirus. It came from because they were it was they were targeted because they were saying coronavirus came from China, so you Chinese people, and that's how it started. It didn't start till after the kung fu,
The kung
until
flu.
the kung flu and the China virus. It didn't start till after that. Then you have some ignorant folks that are targeting them because of this.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I just didn't like the way they painted that narrative as though this guy was looking to just kill Asian people because he killed people who weren't Asian as
Yeah, no,
well,
yeah,
and that never got mentioned. You think Obama for that person would have done something to address
no,
the
no.
issue,
I'm
but
gonna put it up there.
okay,
And Ashley said YouTube and all streaming platforms. Black girl interrupted. Just look it up on any streaming platform, and you're gonna find her. Um, you think Obama, the first black president, would have done something to address the issues black people face, and I doubt Kamala Harris would do. I don't want to get on the politics. I don't want. I don't want to go there. Um, let's because I have my thoughts about it, but it's not going to add to this conversation. We're talking about relationships in the Black America, so I'm not going. Yeah, but I appreciate that comment. Um, maybe we'll do something about politics and whatever another time. Um, but back to what we were talking about the 70s, right? Because we're trying to point a finger at how this started, like Dr. Toya said, and we were saying about it undermining the family structure, emasculating the black man. Um, nowhere in on this earth can you find a thriving society that performs or that operates under matriarchy. Nowhere on earth.
it won't happen.
There's like nine different, I want to say nine, maybe eight or nine different places that they are people that live under a matriarchy, but they're stuck in a way.
In a time
They're
zone,
stuck in a certain way. So the fact that the black community operates the way they operate, they know what they're going to get from us. They know they don't have to worry about us.
you get that uh you get that stuck like you were talking about.
Mm.
You get regression is what you get, and
Yeah,
that's exactly what we have
that's
today.
regression, and also the flipping of the roles. You know what? I want people to come on because I don't want to keep. I'm gonna put
What you trying to do?
this is what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna go ahead and put. Eh, 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna open it up to people to come live if they want to come live, and so if anybody want to come live and state their point or whatever, I'm putting it in the comments. This is the link to come on live, and this is the link to come on live if y'all want to come on and talk about what you're saying. We just say the hippie movement started it all with the feel free love stick. No, and that was I appreciate that, right? The free love movement also, along with the feminist movement, it worked hand in hand. Um, because like you said, we can't that structure undermine the structure also. We have women operating like men. It's counterproductive, right? It's counterproductive to what women want today. Women want to be led by men. Women power was in their femininity. Women power was in the fact that
Absolutely.
they were viewed as being pure. So men were more than willing to take them on, to marry them, to protect them, provide for them and stuff, because they were looked at a certain way. They were held at a certain standard, at a certain regard. So when you undermine that, the image of the woman, the black woman, then you kind of get what you got today. So you undermine the male, you undermine the femininity of the black woman, uh, and the purity of the black woman. Then you have this whole issue we got today, and we can't put we can't put it back in the bag. We can't do that. I mean, we can't reverse that process. But we can do is try to look to how to go forward. Um, we everybody knows we should be telling our children, like our teenage children, not to marry out of wedlock. Everybody knows that, right?
I, go ahead. I know what you meant.
Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, marry before you carry. Everybody knows that you should be preaching that to society or the youngsters in society. But what do we see? What do we see being preached to them?
You don't need a man
You
to
don't
have
need
a
a
man.
man. You can do it, girl. This whole backing bad behavior.
Right. And I go a step further because marriage is that's a personal thing if you decide to go down that road. But I think I said it last
Mm.
week on the show. Uh, if you plan on having a family, you need to have a covenant in place to
Yeah.
protect that
Okay.
family.
Yeah. Covenant.
It
Yeah.
could be marriage, it could
Yeah.
be whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it, but be prepared to provide for that
Hmm.
family. In a protected setting.
Mm.
Like in America, we use marriage for that for
Mm.
the most part, but absolutely before you start having kids.
No, I wholeheartedly believe that marriage should be redefined. Right. It should be redefined in a certain way that it's not antiquated. This whole idea of the whole fantasy fairy tale stuff needs to be checked because it's about survival at the end of the day. That's the real basis of marriage. It's about survival. If you love them up front,
That's great.
fine, beautiful, wonderful. That's wonderful. Nobody's gonna take that from you. But what ends up happening is that without that covenant, like he was talking about, right, the kids have no kind of structure. That foundation is rocky. That foundation is faulty because you don't have that covenant in place. Everybody's doing whatever.
Yeah.
I can go here, I can do that, and then by a man having a covenant with a woman, it proves something. You at least know one thing, that he's willing to take you on. He's willing to provide for his family. He's willing to do something, and he's just not, you know, he thought enough about you and your future
Right.
and y'all future to to make it real. So, I think, we need to be preaching that. I mean, we need to stop trying to make people feel good about being a teenage mother, feel good about not having a father in life, feel good about doing anything you want to do because you're a queen and all that, and you can do everything.
And
No.
it's pretty. And it's for me, it's basic logic. If it takes a man and a woman
Mhm.
to create a child, then you need to have the both of them together to raise that child. That's and in different roles because I still believe in gender roles. I know everybody doesn't,
Mhm.
but I do. But
No, we have the same views, right? That I didn't mention that, but Vietnam was a big part of that also because they came back. They came back like either they came back partial, mentally unstable, or on drugs. I'm gonna read the question. I'm sorry. Would you also say back in those days when men, a lot of black men especially, were getting drafted to fight in wars like Vietnam, the men were getting killed, leaving wives and children alone back home, and the children being raised in a single parent household, then start to stray from normal roles due to no men in the house? Yes, wholeheartedly. Yes. And like I said, they came back. They either didn't come back or they came back partial men, with mental issues or on drugs. What was drug back then? Come on, you know it. What was the drug?
what, heroin?
No, it was heroin. It was opium. It was opium.
Yeah, that's heroin.
That's heroin. That's still heroin.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't take the shit. I'm drug free. Just say no. Yeah. So yeah, they came back. They didn't come back full men, and then they were really kicked out of the house. When you wasn't straight in the head, of course you got kicked out. But yeah, it's all those things together aided into where we at today. It's just not. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a lag. So yeah, we say the doctor opium. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So it all aided into where we at today. But I want to know, for whoever's listening, whoever's on here, because you might be on here. Not, I can't see who's on Twitch or YouTube. only because he was on who was on Facebook. But what do you think we need to go from here? What can be an answer to turn this state of our relationships around?
or at least a common ground, a starting point to turn around. Because the answer is vast, is multidimensional. I don't think it's one set answer, but what's a good starting point to start to turn the situation around?
So, like we've mentioned a couple of things that were wrong, and we know that um building our boys to be stronger, become men in households, be build them to be stronger is half of the battle. That's half of the battle. But then when they become stronger, what are we gonna do about the girls that are growing up masculine? Because nobody's teaching these girls femininity. Nobody's
No,
teaching them. They're teaching them to be men, to
'cause-
be stronger.
and I'll be honest, that's how I raised my daughters, was to be independent, and not necessarily you don't need a man, but just this is what I would teach my son.
Yeah,
Why not
yeah,
teach? This is what I know how to do. This is,
yeah, yeah.
this I'm giving you what I have, and
Mm,
that's my knowledge. Just, oh yeah, you can change the tire. You know how to change oil. You can paint or whatever the case may be. But that's what I have to give them. I can't teach a woman how
mm,
to be feminine. I can't
mm,
teach a female how to be a woman.
mm,
I can say what I like from women, but still have no idea what it takes to
mm,
get that out of a female.
mm.
That's something that she definitely needs, hopefully from her mother, if not her mother, then other women in her house or in her family.
Um, so I don't know how to pronounce your name. That's why I'm not saying it. I don't want to mess it up. Caloriton. I don't know. But honestly, the only way I can see the social issues being corrected is for the state to start promoting and encouraging traditional roles again. Teach how men and women should act, etc. I agree.
Yeah, but that's the state wouldn't.
No,
That
not the
is
state, because state
that's
won't do that.
that's
Yeah,
not coming. It's
yeah,
we're gonna take it upon
yeah.
ourselves as individuals to
Mm,
push back against this political
mm,
correctness and uh, this all this equality as
mm,
far as I can do whatever a man can do. We're equal in the eyes of both of us being human beings, but
mm,
let's be honest. We were made differently, and we provide for different roles.
mm.
And when you start to blur those lines, then you kind of get the little the mismatch or the hodgepodge that we have today.
I think also we got to deconstruct the notion that first of all that women don't need men. We have to stop that. We have to stop preaching that to our kids. Um, because what I don't understand is that women, you don't see if you have boys and a girl. Women will train their girls to be tougher than the boys.
Hmm. Yeah,
You are responsible for what you say you don't like.
right. And
You're solely responsible for what you say you don't like.
I see it. I see it quite a bit. Like you said, they raise the women up to be leaders, to
Mm-hmm.
take care of a household, and they baby the shit out of
Yeah,
their boys. They treat them almost like there's the damn boyfriend.
yeah.
It's disturbing when I watch how the modern mother interacts with her son.
Mm.
It really,
My king.
yeah, it's
Mm,
it's it's, it's unhealthy. A
mm,
lot of what I
yeah.
see, but they put him on a pedestal. They baby him. They don't allow him to do anything for himself, and then he grows up. If he never was taught how to fish, then how can he provide fish for anyone?
Yeah.
Or how can he even teach someone else how to fish?
Mm,
But that's exactly what we have in
mm,
society today. We got a lot of women in the leadership role and a lot of
mm,
males. I haven't seen so many men, and this is something trivial, but
mm.
riding in the passenger seat while the women driving around.
Yeah, yeah.
That's disturbing to me.
Or
But
pumping gas
or pumping
while the
gas.
man is in the
The man
car.
sitting in the passenger seat and the woman out there pumping her own gas. I'm like, wow. But that is what we have raised in
Yeah,
society the last 20
yeah.
plus years.
20 plus years. Okay. And strange enough, even the Roman emperors had the same issues too. Total social anarchy, lack of traditional moral, and implement a bunch of laws to try to correct the issues and bring back moral traditional roles. So if you didn't know, like that really was the
That's
fall of Rome.
that brought Rome down.
That kind of brought Rome down because they hoisted the women above the men to where, well, they made laws majority for the women, and it took men out of the roles they were supposed to be in, and they were fighting wars.
Kind of
they
like America today.
yeah, they were fighting wars. So you can't make weak men. You out here fighting wars trying to take over territories. Now you got weak men. It's not gonna work out well.
It does not.
It's not gonna work.
Doesn't mix at all.
But so the thing is, it's not all of America. We're talking about this is why we're dead last place in majority of things, because we've done exactly what Rome's done, and that's why another reason I say they know what they're doing.
Right. It's history
because it's history.
itself.
Yes, it's history.
And Rome was once the greatest empire
Yes.
out there, just like America was once the great empire. Well, it's not an empire, but you know what I mean.
The superpower.
And look at where it's headed. How much longer do we have at this status of being a superpower? I mean, we are in trillions of dollars.
Trillions of debt.
Like I said, we got social anarchy as far as people, saying it's okay to be one thing when you're really something else. We completely just overlook the obvious. So we are headed down that exact same path. How long will it take before we crumble completely? Who knows? Soon as somebody decides to poke us, we'll see.
But that's a bigger scale. The macro, but the micro in the black community, we're severely damaged, and we're all out of order in that aspect because we don't have the right structure. Same with the French too in their revolution, total anarchy. How long till an American emperor comes for it to fix everything?
Right.
It won't happen.
It fix nothing.
It won't happen. It's all about power. It's all about hoarding power for yourself, or your certain parties. It's all about hoarding power for your parties and controlling the people. It's all about control.
That's really what it's about.
Yeah. So they don't care as long as they got people up on them to keep them above the rest. Like you said, like the French, same thing, same deal. But we know history, but we don't see the the bigger picture. Yeah, we don't see the correlation. Yeah.
Somehow we think we're
better.
It out.
Yeah, we're better.
I'm telling you, we the only people, human beings, have gotten stupid as we've evolved. We've gotten so smart that we're stupid. We went from, I'm not gonna go on a diatribe about that, but like I said, we've evolved until now we don't look at the unintended consequences in a lot of decisions we make.
So Dr. Toya says language matters to the human race. This is a version to the word need. Being that this is the case, why not replace need with something more palatable? What's wrong with I value having a man? Having a man is important to me. My life is meaning because I have a man, etc. I agree with that. I agree with the fact that some people need that type. Some people need it to be palatable because they shut down. I agree with that. But what I don't agree with is that women don't need a man because men need women. We need each other.
Dr. Latoya, I'm a strong believer in language matters, but and that's why I think you need to say the word need. It needs to be black and white, understood. No ambiguous.
Yeah,
ambiguity about it. It needs to be understood. So, and a lot of times, everybody wants everything to feel good or to be easier to swallow, but that's the role of medicine. It don't always taste good, but it's gonna get you better sometimes.
The reason why I say need, right, is because, and I gotta attribute this thought to Kevin Samuels. He put this out here. The fact that we're getting up in age, women, when you get in your 50s, 60s, majority of women are not going to have anybody around to, help them out to do certain things. Now, they might not need them like that at young, but if you don't have a man throughout these years to build anything with, to build a rapport, to build that bond with, when you can become 60, 70 years old, that need going to be real. that need gonna be real as hell.
I think something else is important that he points out is
Yeah.
most women don't make the amount of money needed to sustain a life in retirement
Mhm.
by themselves. Unless they live like a hermit their
Mhm.
entire working life, then they don't make that level of money to where they can put away money to have a retirement that can sustain them
Mm.
in retirement. So you there by yourself with very little money. Yeah, you want to have somebody there to help shoulder that burden with you.
Mhm.
And I think people a lot of times we overlook the financial aspect of that. We always look at of course, who wants to live out their latter days by
By
themselves,
itself.
or
Mhm.
but it's also a financial component to that where that's when the medical issues show up. That's
Yeah.
when
Mhm.
that's when you might not be mobile. You might not be able to get around. You
Mhm.
want to have somebody there who's willing to help you get through these times.
See, we're talking about right now when people say in their 20s and 30s, they say, I don't need. We're talking about, like we talked about earlier, the fact that you live in a society where it's an option. In other societies, it's not an option. It's not an option. But when later on in life, um,
Mm.
yeah,
Is
but
that a
later,
real
but
thing?
later, huh?
No,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
put it up. But later on in life, right? Um, later in life, it's that option goes away. I mean, you're talking about you haven't partnered with anybody. Think about this, and I said it on one of the podcasts. You don't have a man. This man lives out his life in full, and he dies. His money goes to government. That's money you could have used to sustain your life and further, because usually men die before women.
Mhm.
Usually that's what happens. So by you not needing a man, not partnering with a man, not living your life in that aspect because you want to be, a strong woman, and you want to feel like you don't need anybody else but yourself, you've cut your time short. You cut your options short. You cut your finances shorter because you don't want to you don't want to feel like you're under anybody's jurisdiction, under anybody's control, or whatever it be. You don't want to feel like you're submitting to anybody. Therefore, that's the other word that is not palatable to women, or submission, which is not a bad thing, but
No.
that's what keeps so many women single. I'm going to your question now, Toy, or your statement. And I got a comment for this statement. A lot of women are planning to pool their money and live like Golden Girls, and some women are, but
That's a real thing now.
yeah, no, that's a real thing now. It's a
All
real
right.
thing. I can't remember what it's
It's
called.
a solution.
I can't remember what it's called, and it is a solution. But how many women can stand to be around other women?
Right. Do y'all really like each other? Let's
How
be
many?
honest, doctor.
Is that really? Is that really? I mean, some women can do it, but for most part, how many women do you think can do this? They will kill each other.
That's interesting.
They will kill each other.
But that's what it's going to take. It's going to take something like this for women to be able to live out their latter years,
No, they're gonna have to do it.
especially this generation coming
Yeah.
up, because you know I think only maybe 6%. I only think 6% of women make six figures or more. I can't
Probably
remember.
probably
But
9%, I think,
but
or
like I
9.
said, it's a very small percentage. The majority of women don't make the kind of money they need to retire comfortably.
Mm. Yeah, no, and that's the whole thing. I mean, and I think majority of women don't even look at the financial part of
Oh,
it.
they don't.
And that's the whole when it sneaks. So the way finances go, it's putting your money away over time.
Hmm.
It's over time compounded, and when you get to that point, then you have a lot of money. But majority of women wait to the end.
Yeah, like, oh, I need to put something to the
Oh
side.
shit!
Yeah, but time is
Yeah,
is better
time.
than money,
Yeah,
because
time is better than
that's
money.
what grows your money is the
Mm.
time.
What do you think when these feminists claim women should go their own way because men are all misogynistic that treat their wives like actual slaves, second class citizens, property, etc.?
Mhm.
I would say that some men do, but to say that men do this as a whole, I would disagree. I would disagree, I mean, especially in the black community, because I'm gonna go into something that might be a trigger to women. Okay, especially in the black community, because men put their women on pedestals for most part because majority of men are raised by single mothers. Now, I don't know how it plays out in relationships. Sometimes it could be different, but every man has been up under a woman majority of their life, right? They all have mothers. Pretty much every man, majority, 90, let's say 90%, just to give a number, right? Of men have been under women majority of their life. So the thing is, where women keep saying that men are the problem, if a lack of a man was in the household, women don't know men. They've never been under a man. Majority of women grew up without a man in the household, right? Based on that, majority of women are operating in a deficit. They're operating to try to get.
They don't even know what they're looking for.
They don't know what they're looking for. First of all,
because they've never been around a man to even know what to look for in a man.
They picked the wrong one. That's it. The second thing is that they're just out there believing what other women have told them ahead of time and not checking with a man, even if they don't know. Why not even check with a man? Why not talk to a man about what do you need to look? What do I need to look for? Or what is it like? What we're supposed to be doing here?
Yeah, because there's plenty of good dudes out there who have families, who take care of their children, who can give you this kind of advice. So but definitely check with a man.
But that's the reason why, because we get in these debates about why there's so many single mothers.
Because people treat childbirth as trivial. They don't take it as serious as they do. Hell, their college education. Hell, they plan more for their college degrees than they do for childbirth in many cases. Children just show up. You see somebody one day, a couple months later, they get rid of that. Yeah. I'm serious. I don't think they take it serious.
But
it's
also
like an accessory now.
But also because of what we just said, right? If majority of these women don't have men in the household, don't understand what men do or how they operate, they're missing a vital part of how to be in a relationship or who to be in a relationship with. So they miss the other half of the information. So majority of women that were in this situation needs to go seek some kind of help for that deficit they have. They need to seek that. And then we'll start seeing things better because, now you have more information. Start looking for people. Everybody has YouTube. Everybody has TikTok. Start looking for guys that you feel that have not pandering to you for money now. Stay away from them Negroes. Right. Stay away from them nignogs. I'm going to use it earlier. Stay away from them nignogs. But, guys that are actually talking about who men are. Guys that are talking to other men about being the best version of themselves. Roommates podcast, good content. They're talking to other men, but start to understand that these men, what they want, who they are, how they operate, so it won't look misogynistic to you.
Right.
So it won't look like a toxic masculinity to you because you're gonna attribute that to anything when you never had a man in your household.
And I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Because they never experienced.
They never experienced firsthand.
It's almost like a culture shock.
Yeah.
Oh, he's being I don't
damn misogynist.
I'm gonna have to look misogynist up because I'm still trying to get a clear definition of it. I'm probably one, but I'm
hey, I mean, you probably can. I mean, if anybody can be anything, right?
Right.
Based on so once again, I've said this word before. Women, based on the fact of how women operate, they don't need a man. They think men are vile or whatever. They're being misogynistic. Misogyny. That's what it's called.
He flipped it off.
It's misogyny. They're operating at misogyny, right? The hatred of men. A lot of women are operating in this way, but they don't see a problem with it because media doesn't tell them it's a problem.
So misogyny is actually the hatred of women?
Hatred of dislike of women.
I'm not a misogynist.
The hatred, dislike of women. Misandry.
I take that back.
No, misandry.
I'm not a misogynist.
Misandry. Yeah, misandry is the hatred or dislike for men. Okay. And a lot of women operate under that, but because of media doesn't say this word, media doesn't push this to anybody.
Never heard it till you said it.
Because of that, it's not an issue. The I don't need a man comes from a hurt place. It comes from a place of they're not being under a man, not understanding the true love of a man because they never had a father in their household, which is not most of the father's fault because we don't know the story. Like we don't know the true story.
It's also encouraged.
It's encouraged also. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's who we've been. Ooh.
This society pushes this, and because of Dr. Toy and we agreed on, that's the point we agreed on. It undermined the black men, right? It emasculated the black men back in the 70s. So with society adding to this, pushing it, we have what we have in mass today. And until we can correct this issue, women understanding, the other part of the picture, other women stop pushing this narrative to women, and men becoming better role models, better men. I think we can work from both ends to the middle to try to get better outcomes. That's what I got. I mean,
Well, I mean, that sounds good to me. But we have to get, like I stated earlier, we have to find that common ground to start. We got to agree on a starting point, because if we working on two different agendas, it's going, we never gonna get anywhere.
oh, and the agenda should be doing what's best for our future generations. That should be the agenda.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be what I want today, because that's fleeting.
That's
That's
done.
yeah. I
If you
mean,
don't have it yet,
no,
and
yeah,
you 25 plus,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna say it's not gonna
You
happen. I'm just
no, but you're
saying.
chasing your tail majority of the time.
I'm just saying. You already in the midst. Let's
Mhm.
work on the people who are
Yeah,
coming up to
who
that
haven't
point.
came yet, or let's we need to be leaving this world or leaving the state of Black America better than we found it. That should be our agenda. That should be our goal. Okay, Dr. Toy, and
Yeah,
she's a doctor. She deals with this, so
Dr. Toya, I agree,
it
because I know
also.
for a
Well, let me
fact.
read it. Let me read it before
Oh,
you do
go
it, because
ahead.
nobody they got people that's probably. It also happens for women who were raised by men. Present fathers taught their daughters that they had to be independent because the younger generation of males weren't ish, and that's true today. I think even more so today. Now go ahead.
It probably more so today. Now I didn't read it completely. That's not why I taught my daughter to be independent. I just did. That's the gift that I have to give to all my kids. And unfortunately, it probably is best for males to feel that. But that's how I'm gonna raise my daughter. I'm gonna teach her to be independent, same way I teach my son to be. And that's why it's important to have that mother there to show my daughter how to nurture and how to love and how to care for her, because I can't do that. I can only give you what I have, and I don't have that other aspect. I mean, I have some love and nurture, but it's not nowhere near compared to what a mother can provide to a child. So,
And,
but
and I think majority, like, because of how society is, and because women take on this, I don't need a man, because women take on this masculine trait, they can only give their daughters that majority of the
oh
time.
yeah,
Like they don't have that a lot. Well, some women do,
they don't have that
but a lot of
experience.
women don't have that experience being second generation, like Jade that we done shows with before, that I
Hmm.
do a show with now. If yeah, I'm gonna start posting it. Dr. Toy wants me to post on her page, but she says herself she's masculine. She's two generations never had a man in the household. So because of that, like you go further, you fall farther away from femininity,
Hmm. And
as
you don't even recognize
and
it.
you
But
don't even know it.
I
Yeah,
remember we had that conversation on the show
yeah.
with her, and
Mm-hmm.
because that's all she knows.
Mm-hmm.
But her whole demeanor is gonna attract the feminine men, the men who
The
gonna
beta, the
flake out.
beta, the beta
Hey,
men.
they gonna flake out on her
Yeah,
like she was talking about the
yeah,
other day when the guy flaked out on her.
yeah.
That's what she's gonna get.
The beta males. That's what you're gonna get. Um, so let's see. So if I may ask, what were both of your parents like? Did they raise you traditional way together, or were they like people today?
Uh, I go first.
Yeah.
I had both my parents in the household, and it was a traditional raising. Although my mother worked as well, but she always came home. She cooked every day,
Mm,
things like that. So it was fairly traditional, but it's still. It, I s- I could see where the outside influence
mm.
crept into their
Sure.
marriage, because they end up divorcing. I think I can't remember how old I was, but I was in my 20s.
Okay.
But
Okay.
that came from, I want to say, more so the outside influence of the
Mm,
whole independent woman. I can do this, and I don't know if that's why they divorced. I
mm,
don't care.
mm.
It's none of my
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
honestly. But I just from what I saw from a child's aspect, on the outside looking
Mm.
in, I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. And as far as mine, I think mine is more like what goes on today. In New Orleans, my mother was in poverty, in the Magnolia projects. So it's a place where you have to be more strong willed or whatever. And my father is a country boy, North Louisiana. So he was more of a the country boys usually are more of a provider type. They're more that way. So and they divorced. I think it was some of the I'm a strong. It was some competitiveness in the house at
Hmm.
some point. So I think it was kind of going towards more of what's going on today. Uh, and they divorced when I was 11. When I was 11. So and I saw that I was old enough and understood enough to understand what was going on in the house, or I had certain thoughts, and I saw my siblings, and I was just talking about this yesterday. Actually, I saw my siblings, and my whole purpose was to make sure they didn't feel what was going on. So I took that role as a man in the household at 12 years old. So that's how I saw everything, and that's what I'm saying. It needs to be from a point of looking out for
The
what's
generation to
coming
come.
what's coming along. That should be the answer. I don't think nobody with any sense would disagree with the fact that we need to be worried about future our future selves. I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
No.
Um, if you want your daughter to be happy, right? And you're not happy, you're looking for a certain man, you look at and you can't find it, and you're not happy, you need to be reevaluating what you did and try to do something different.
Hmm.
If you're a man and you want your son to be uh you want your son to be a head of a house, or you want your son to be with a provider, you need to be teaching him whatever he needs to know. Hey, fix cars. Hey, do stuff with your hands, because that is going to be more of his worth. Like he's going to be worth more based on what he provides,
Yeah, well, he
what he
brings the
brings to the table,
and that includes his finance, but as
mm,
well as his ability.
his ability to do
You
things.
know, I was with a couple one day, and my battery had died in my car, and
Mm,
I needed to jump,
mm,
and the guy didn't know how to jump start a car. Luckily, I was I was the one who needed to jump, and I
mm,
had cables already
mm,
because he me, but I was just like, you know. I felt some kind of way about it, and I'm like, "You got a whole wife over here, so if y'all get stranded somewhere, I guess that's what technology. You can call
mm.
somebody
Yeah.
and they can come jump, but that's an hour and a half long process waiting for that. When you can, if you can get somebody to give you a jump, that's 5 minutes. That
Mm.
that takes no time.
Um, I guess you're from Britain, since you got the British flag. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's Britain, I think. So think think things would be better if divorce was not allowed. Removes temporary temptation away. No, I think it'd be worse. I think we have
I
violence.
guess you have murder.
Yeah, you have violence in the household. So I think it'd
You
be
have
worse.
murder. I've
I
seen
don't think that's the answer.
I've seen utter disrespect that
Mm,
the only thing that could solve that is the separation of the two
mm,
individuals because
mm.
it wasn't going anywhere but downhill from
Yeah.
there. So that's it's best because a lot of I was mentioning to somebody today, or I might have been talking to you about it one day, but a lot of women now, because of the whole equality thing, they challenge men
Mm.
at a physical level,
Yeah. Oh yeah. They think they can whoop a man ass sometimes.
and
Mm.
and that is not a woman's place to challenge a man physically ever.
Yeah.
Stand down, woman. That's
Stand by, stand down.
but you see a lot of that now, and like I said, things get out of hand, and I say men shouldn't be hitting women,
No.
but that goes both ways. Women should not be hitting men.
No.
Nobody should be hitting
Yeah,
anybody.
nobody. Hey, love on each
Yeah,
other, man.
just start kissing
Love
somebody.
on each other.
Start rubbing on somebody.
That's a
Kiss them.
feminine, women,
This
masculine
the late
men.
night show. Yeah, let's.
No, no. But yes, I mean, it should be everything should be operated out of love, and for one another. If we love one another, if you say you love black men, why wouldn't you want to do things to make him feel better, and in return he'll do things to make you feel better.
Oh yeah, he gonna continue to provide.
Mm.
He gonna
And
love it.
and I heard something today that probably the reason for males doing what they do is because they don't have femininity to feel like they protect. They have to protect. If you got majority, like so if you see a feminine woman and somebody that needs you, just based by your, like you said, biology and your innate instinct to protect that person. If she seems like she's a damsel in distress, if you want to call it,
Right.
um, most men will,
Come
come
to
to
the
her
rescue.
aid, come to her aid. But if you have women, you sit back, oh, I don't need a man, and she got this male bravado,
Hey, you take her word for it.
hey, okay,
All
shit,
right then.
she got it. And I think that's also the reason why you have a lot of black women saying that they feel unprotected. You know, if you're masculine, men don't
You
protect
don't need nothing
masculine. Yeah,
protections. You can
yeah,
whip everybody
yeah.
ass.
Men don't protect other men.
No.
They don't. Men don't do that. So if you want to feel protected, I think you need to dial back on the masculinity and learn more about femininity and allowing men to be men. And I think you'll feel better. You feel more um aligned with what's supposed to happen. In the family unit, in society, and everything else. Another idea I had right one night, crazy, right? Women want to Black women always talking about how black men go to other races, right? Which to be honest is not in mass. It's 80% of black men marry black women. So it's a minute percentage of men that do that go to white women or whatever. But the thing is, if you know that, right, you got the answer. Why not emulate what you think they want? Understand what it is. Why is that they might choose them and then emulate it? They emulate us, don't they?
Absolutely.
They emulate us to get the men. We got women getting engineered right now to have African American women features to
Yeah.
get your men. They're willing to compete for your men. What are you doing?
Won't even compete for.
What are you doing?
What we got here by my man.
Did black men back in the day do honorable things and marry a woman if they got them pregnant instead of running away?
I
No,
can't.
they had such thing as shotgun weapons back in the day.
Yeah, I guess I
Yeah.
can't even. I
Staying
can't
together
speak
for the sake of the children.
for
Yeah.
black men back
No.
in the day. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
No, they did. I mean,
That's.
they did.
I mean, but you can't speak for entire
Not the entire. I
race
mean,
of people. I'm sure you had plenty of men who were honorable,
yeah.
and then you had others who was like, oh well, you know.
Yeah, but it's case by case basis. But they had people that done that.
Oh,
We know
absolutely.
there's people that done that.
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't think that's a widespread thing. See the thing is we're combating a society. We're combating people that are actually targeting us for certain things. You can't combat that on a case by case basis like that, right? If you have a message saying, hey, you don't need to do this. You don't need to. Hey, the men, you don't need to respect men. You don't need to. That's a system they're putting in place. There's something they're trying to do versus men are sitting. Should men do honorable things? Do men should do this, that, the other? Yeah, they should, and they have done it. But we have a system in place telling people that you don't need to do this, and women that you don't need men, then they're going to run the men away because they don't need men, and men are gonna at some point get tired of fighting this thing that's in place. Not saying that's all men. Don't get me wrong, ladies. Stay out my DM.
Mhm.
That's not all men, but I'm just saying men are human too, and anybody gets tired of fighting. So even if they have honorable uh, intentions, even if they even got honorable intentions, uh, you fight long enough with somebody, eventually you're gonna give up and you're gonna say, "Look, I don't need this shit.
You'll go the other way.
Yeah, I don't need this shit." Matter of fact, that's a movement now. You was talking about women going their own way with feminism. There's a movement, men going their own way, MGTOW. So that's what men are starting to do now. And women, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. And you're going to have more women trying to live by golden girls. You're going to have more violence within the house with women, women on women
Absolutely.
violence. So
And we talked about this earlier. You're gonna see women's survival rate slowly back up to right there with men because now they're taking on a lot of manly responsibilities. Women used to outlive men by what was it 6 or 7 years? I think something like
yeah,
that on
I
average.
think it was like
it's gonna
67, and women were 72 or 73, something like
it's
that.
gonna
Yeah.
start to dial back
Yeah.
as women no longer have the support of a male later on in life. So
Okay. So look, men even in my country avoid British women, instead traveling to Asia to countries like Thailand to get a traditional Asian pride. So what you said about black men going into other races is very true. Eventually, I mean, they're going to want women. We want women. Black men want feminine women. They want women they feel that they don't have to worry about. They could go fight the world and come home and lay their head in a woman's lap,
and she's gonna nurture them.
and she's going to nurture them. If they can't get in their own women, they're going to find it somewhere else.
Yeah, but
That's
when you come home and then you
that's
got to
nature.
fight with her
Yeah.
about frivolity. I think I just made that up.
Yeah, I was about to say what? What?
I meant frivolous things.
Okay.
But
Frivolity. Okay, frivolity. We're gonna look that up later.
yeah, it's a real one. Look at her. But yeah, nobody wants to, like I said, fight the world all day and then come home and fight some more. I mean, everybody needs a break. Even us men built for this shit, we need a break from time to time.
Yeah.
But it's 10
Yeah,
o'clock.
it's 10 o'clock. We didn't beat this thing in the head. I appreciate everybody that came through and offered their opinions and they had this. Okay, hold on a second. We got Dr. Toya.
Dr. Toya.
We need more feminized activities that are socially acceptable within our community. Tea parties, cotillions, formal balls, etiquette coaching, etc. Activities that require femininity. I agree, Dr. Toya.
I think
I agree. You
correct.
on to something.
But who's gonna bring it?
Yeah, we need to look for these
All
women.
right, Dr. Toya, that sound like a
Hey, Dr.
job for
Toya,
you.
what you gonna do, huh, sister?
Sound like a job for you.
Huh, sister, what you gonna do?
Win the tea party.
Hey, then after they learn their femininity, they need to come together and have like a certain big party to where men and women could have a mixer, and you have your feminine women, your newly feminine women, and your newly masculine men, and we can see how this go. It could be a new experiment. Sounds like a plan to me. But like Eric says, it's 10 something. We're gonna wrap this thing up. We
Here-
didn't beat it in the head.
here
I'm
in
gonna
the
be
States.
I'll be sharing this all over the place,
Yeah.
so we could get people's opinions based on this, and I'll be in the comments. Whoever comment on it, I'll be there, answering and interacting with people that come along after this is posted.
Okay. And I really appreciate the interaction. I'm sure Will does too. So, but what is it gonna be? It's gonna be every Tuesday, 8 o'clock.
So yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
8:15.
Thank you. Eight-ish, eight.
Eight-ish. I like
Hopefully 8. But
that.
this is a new time slot. We're gonna be on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. Blackmailed. ADHD hours is still gonna be on Sunday. It works better for us. I think we agreed that during the winter or whatever, we're going back to Sunday. But during the summer, when it's nice and everything outside, people want to do things on a weekend. So we're gonna get off for Sunday, come on Tuesday. So anybody that comes along, just look out for us Tuesday, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Yeah, 6 p.m. What is it?
We got a mountain, and then we got a Pacific.
Pacific,
So it's
whatever.
It's 4 time
Hey,
zones, right?
look for it.
Standard
I don't know. I just gave you the 2. I know. Look for it.
Just go by Eastern Standard Time at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
Whatever that means, wherever you are.
I have Jack Toy last comment. I have resources. Go to Instagram and check out Black Royalty. Thank you, Dr. Toy. Black Royalty, exquisite Black women, and connect with the DST sorority for etiquette classes. Appreciate that, Dr. Toy. Any ladies are coming along? This is in the comments. Instagram and check out Black Royalty, exquisite Black women, and DST sorority for etiquette classes. Hey, get your femininity up, ladies. Men, get your masculinity up. Let's do this. Like I said, we'll see y'all next week. Anything else before we roll?
That's it, man. I'll
That's
see
it?
you next week. I appreciate
Okay.
everybody.
Okay. All right. Well,
Have a good night.
all right. Y'all be easy.